What do you want me to say? No one listens. No one hears it. And yet I still hear them talking. It never ends. Never stops. Or at least, that's what it feels like. I hear your questions, but they're pointless. You'll just mark me down as insane and move on with it. Just like the rest. But, fine. You're asking when it started, right? I don't recall. Sure, I remember bits and pieces here and there, but not everything is in crystal clear detail. The earliest I could recall is high school. It was high school, right? Yeah, it was high school. Well, me and a small group of friends. Ben, Carly, and Jack. Huh? You're curious to know more. I can tell you more about them. I still remember them quite well. Ben was the more calm, analytical one of the group. He kind of felt like the leader figure, almost, if you were to ask me. Carly, enthusiastic and adventurous. Very adventurous. Like the really curious explorer of the group, if I were to give her a title. Then there's Jack. Jack was different. Huh? You want to know how? Well, he was very, very paranoid. He would often be glancing around very consistently, and sometimes sporadically, I think is the way I'd want to describe it. It was almost as if he believed he was being watched, or as if he thought he was hearing someone speak to him. I think there were even times where he seemed to be talking to no one, like no one in particular. I don't know. Just like me, sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. What? I'm aware how crazy I sound. Shut up! No, that wasn't directed at you. Anyway, about Jack, he was a loner, and I think we were his only friends. I'm pretty sure Ben was the one that befriended him first, introduced us. Carly, I think, immediately noticed something was off. Didn't seem right. But I think Ben brushed it off. Just wanting to include Jack, maybe. Hard for me to say. I think he was feeling some sort of either empathy or sympathy towards him. I don't know which. Either way, Ben was the kindest in the group. Yeah, I'm sure he's probably part of the reason why I'm here. Huh? You want me to get to when it started? Though, that, voices. Well, I think junior year? I think it was junior year. I had known Ben, Jack, and Carly for roughly a couple of years now. Carly had been dragging us around from place to place. Frankly, it had gotten old, for me at least. I don't like going out. Ben had been the one who was encouraging the group, trying to keep us together. Jack, being very paranoid, no matter what the activity was. I definitely would have to admit, being around Jack was a bit troublesome at times for me, quite tough. But, man, if Ben didn't have a very convincing glare, so I ended up being around him a bit more often. Over time, he became more tolerable to me, and I did naturally hang out with him a bit more consistently. One thing that really helped for sure was Ben kind of pushing me forward towards this. Another thing I'd say, Jack grew calmer over time as the days passed. But then there was that one day. That one damn day. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Something very simple. Something very quiet. I heard it so faintly that I thought at the time I had imagined it. Just the quietest whisper. Hey. It was a male voice. Ghost quiet. Almost smooth and calm. Very strange. I think I jolted for a moment, my eyes darting around. I was very confused. I remember asking around if somebody had said that to me. Ben was walking with me at the time. He had given me a dubious look. I remember him asking, "Said what?" I remember telling him, "Never mind," before picking up my pace, wanting to just get to the next class at that point. The next time it happened was months later. I was at home alone. I don't recall exactly what I was doing. Maybe I was playing a game, reading a book, I don't know. But I do know one thing. It was silent. I do remember I was really relaxed at the time. Until it had happened again. Hello there. I remember hearing a voice say, so soft, leaving me confused. I tried listening to hear it once more, straining my ears. But there was nothing. Just a low ringing. Silent once more. I remember rummaging around my room in search of the source, but I found nothing, no sign of anyone. I don't remember what exactly went through my mind, but I think I believed it to be the neighbors. The walls were pretty thin. From here, things only got worse. They became more persistent, happening more often. Some days I would dread going home. Why? 'Cause I couldn't get any rest, and the voices seemed almost louder somehow. Some nights it would be completely quiet, sometimes. But most of them, I could always hear just a low whisper, saying something. Do you know what that's like? Just laying there, listening, waiting, eyes wide in search of something you can never find. Sweat beating from the body just enough to cause that uncomfortable sensation of the shirt sticking to your skin. I couldn't tell you everything they said, but I could tell you a few things. And they said things like, "Hello. He's a new one. It's scared, isn't it? Infected. The voices soon became non-stop. I spent days in search of them. I slammed my closet doors open, rummaging through my drawers. Anywhere I thought I could find something. I didn't care what it was as long as I found the source. I began going out less and less. Too paranoid to do anything other than school. Whenever I'd leave my home, I could feel my hands shaking too much. I'll be honest, I hadn't seen myself in days. I probably looked like shit. Eyes sunken in the whole thing. In time, my friends noticed. Of course they noticed. Ben had commented on my abnormal behavior. Carly, how tired I was and how I just don't go anywhere with them anymore. Jack, he just stared. I do remember another day. It was a very interesting day. One that I cannot forget. Because of how somehow abnormal it felt to me. I went 24 hours without hearing a peep. Not one whisper. I remember breathing almost peacefully that day. It was more relaxed. So much more relaxed. I think I even hesitantly struck up a conversation with Ben. It was the first time in months that I had felt normal. But good things never last. What's this? Friends! I remember it saying. It happened again. I was out and about with my friends again at the time. It was, I think, the middle of the night. I think. We might have been at a gas station. I don't know. I don't fully recall. I remember Ben looking at me with a puzzled expression. I think he asked if I was doing all right. I stared back at him for a few heartbeats. Then, I believe I told him that, yeah, I was fine. And I thought I just heard somebody nearby is all. I remembered Carly laughing at that, telling me if I said so, because the only thing she said she saw was just the clerk inside. I gave Carly a bit of an annoyed look, but then my expression changed to curiosity, maybe? I noticed Jack standing behind her, and he'd been looking at me. He hadn't said anything, just stared. I think his eyes were narrowed, as if thinking. I was uncomfortable at the time, and at that moment I decided it probably was best for me to leave. I remember telling him that I should get going and that I was feeling tired. One of my more common excuses. That's probably why Ben didn't buy it. What was his reply again? I think he told me that it was around 9 o'clock and that it was the weekend, so I should have time. Or something like that. I don't remember my exact reply, but what I do know is I did leave. Quite quickly, in a rush. There is one thing about that night that I do remember very, very vividly, and it was Jack. As I left, I noticed he was still staring at me. Expression calm. Not a word out of his mouth. He's usually the silent type, sure, but looking at one of us, that's not usual. Like I said before, he's someone who tends to glance around, looking almost paranoid. Never at one of us. You're wondering if anything else had happened that night. Yeah, something else did. More words. They just kept going on and on and on. But this time it was about one topic? I can't remember it, though. Then again, it makes sense I can't remember. I had been in such a rush to get home, and with nothing but the desire to drown out the noise, I just didn't care. The moment I stepped through my door, I had gone through a rampage, going everything around possible, just to drown out the sound, the whispers. Yes, that's why they found it in such a mess. You're curious, aren't you? What they said. They said, look at him. He's infected. He knows what he's got to do. We told him already. I don't know what to do. They never can seem to go away. I don't know what to do. I've talked and talked and talked, but they never shut up. I try to ignore them, but even now, here they are, not shutting up. What? Oh, you're wondering what they're saying now. You would not like it. The doctor looked over his notes. He thought it very peculiar, fascinating. He had had many such cases before, of the mind taking such a heavy grip on someone in such a manner. He was used to it. But this one made him feel, for some reason, uneasy. He didn't understand why, exactly. He looked over his notes, thinking about it, how the patient had concluded the discussion. He began to reread the line again. Pass it. But then he paused, as a new sound broke the quiet. A whisper.